Hi, so this is something I'm really excited to show you. So as you've seen a few of my videos where I've been looking at the DC Finest range of collections. I'm loving them. I'm really addicted to them. It's just bringing back so many memories, and it's nice that they're collecting stuff what hasn't been collected before, or if it has been collected, it's always been out of my price range. Um, but there was one in particular that I was really excited for. There's a lot coming out that I'm looking forward to, like the Sergeant Rock one, the Westerns, the War one, and some others that are coming out in the coming year. But this was like the one that I was really anticipating because I'll give you a bit of a Mandy history lesson. Back in the mid to late 70s, there used to be a newsagent down the end of my street, so that'd be like a drugstore in America, and they had the spinning rack with American comics on, and they had the British comics, etc. as well. And they started getting them in the mid to late 70s, quite a lot of DC ones. And in the UK, the ones that we got through the American comics that we got through the Roseabouts were 3 months behind everything in America. So I got things like Plop. If you've never heard of Plop, Google it. It was a really weird humor magazine. It had things by Sergio Aragones, uh, Mike Plug, Basil Wolverton, people like that. But then they also had the horror range. So they had like House of Mystery, House of Secrets, Tales of the Unexpected, Ghosts, etc., Witching Hour, things like that. And for me, that was like my doorway into horror comics because obviously I'm this is unusual for me to say, but I was too young for the EC range. I was not around in the 50s and the 60s, so this was like my horror comic. I didn't know that things were censored because of the comics code. I just thought, oh, this is really horrific, and so this came today, and I'm so excited about it. This is the DC Finest Horror, called The Devil's Doorway. There's 560 pages, and this features issues of the House of Mystery, House of Secrets, The Unexpected, and The Witching Hour. And it features art from people like Gil Kane, Sergio Aragonis, Michael W.M. Kaluta, let's see, Alex Toff, Bernie Wrightson, and Kurt Swan, and many others. And he also has writers such as Jerry Conway, Marv Wolfman, Len Wein, etc. So it's really high quality. And I like how they've not just taken stories from the issues; they are showing the issues in full. So you even have like there's some text stories in here as well, which I'm pleased have included. It just shows like the comic of the time, and what they've done, they've kind of done it an issue, say for example, the unexpected, and then an issue of the Witching Hour, and so on and so on. Um, I forgot how good the art was. This was before I jumped on board with a lot of these titles. Like I said, it was about mid to late 70s when I jumped on, so it had things more like I Vampire and stories like that were released at the time. Um, but oh boy, these were so good. I mean, Alex Toff, you can't get collections of Alex Toff now without paying high price for the collections. Never mind the original comics. So you got really good Alex Toff. You've got very early Bernie Wrightson artwork in here as well. Let me just see if I can find an example of that. So I could find it really well when you're not looking for something, you can find it no problem if that makes sense. Yeah, so got early Burley rights and it's got some really. It opens up the book with some really cool Gil Kane artwork, doing sword and sorcery like only Gil Kane can do. So it's a real smorgasbord of all different art styles and different stories. And I'm a sucker for like things like there used to be some British anthology films in the late 60s, early 70s by Trigon Amicus. There was the TV series Hammer House of Horror, things like that. I love the anthology format of horror stories. So this is right up my street. Each story is different. It covers different um, genres, different like it can be historical ghost stories, modern ghost stories, futuristic stories with twist and tale. Yeah, I am so made up. And like I said, even so, what I like about it is how they've kept the Sergio Aragonis like little humor bits in. I just want to show you this cover because it's just wonderful. And what I like about the DC ones, they kept it very much in line with like what EC did, where they've got hosts for the comic who might not be in the strips themselves, but they'll like introduce the stories. Like for example here, so you have Cain and Abel and other characters, and it's just so good. I forgot what I was looking for now. So I don't think yeah, it's not got the issue in where this very first Swamp Thing. I'm not sure if that's collection before this or the one after it, but that should hopefully they'll do more of this. Yeah, so like I said, there's Sergio Aragonés 1 and 2 page strips in as well. So it's a real mix of art styles, real mix of stories. The colouring is really good, unlike the Epic collections, which are like lifted from the masterworks. The colours aren't vibrant and in your face and look odd. Much more muted, much more as you'd get in the original comics. It's just wonderful. I'll definitely. I've been reading Batman Red Skies, but I think I'll be putting it down for a little bit and just dipping into this for a bit. I'm tempted to get the DC Finest science fiction one, the one that's got a few Guerrilla World stories in. It's an earlier decade, but I do like 50s and 60s science fiction stories from comics as well. So I might do that. I'm just so made up. So I got this from Amazon, and it cost me £25.69, something like that, which for 560 pages is fantastic. When you think an epic collection for about 400 pages would be 44 or even $49.99, depending on what character they're using. This is really good value for money. The paper is nice. It's it's not too thin as well, so you don't get bleed through. Just look at this artwork. I mean, the colours and everything about it. I'm looking forward to this because with the Batman Red Guys, I love it. It's fantastic. It's one of my favourite eras of Batman. But I've still got kind of distant memories of reading those originally. I've never read these. And just look at this Neil Adams cover, which is reprinted inside in full. It's got a real murderer's row of talent. I mean, you can't get many comics where you've got Alex Toth, Bernie Wrights, and Michael W.M. Kaluta working side by side. And it's just nice seeing how for example, Bernie Wrights and Howie style tightened up over time and became the Grandmaster of Comics, what he became known as. Whereas here, it's much more fluid, much more loose. It's got almost like a bit of a Will Eisner kind of flavour to it. It's much more loose with its outlines, and it's really exciting to see that energy what a young Bernie Wrightson had. And then you've got, like I said, the ones with a bit more experience, like Alex Toth, where he's already got his style in place. Oh, it's just great. And then Kurt Swan, who I'm used to just doing Superman or things like that. So to see him tackle something that's not superhero based is really, really refreshing. So I really can't wait to dive in. These were released in 1969 to 97, so this was like the cusp of when the Bronze Age started. So it's not as verbose as the Silver Age, so you've not got as many boxes of dialogue which explains what they're already saying in the speech bubbles. So this will be much more palatable for somebody who's been raised on modern day comics. And like I said, it's got that fun sensibility of the old EC line, but obviously it is watered down. You could read, a 9-year-old could read this and get like a little bit of a spooky thrill, but it wouldn't be anything that you think, oh, I can't let them read that. It's just good, pulpy, horrific fun. And I hope there's going to be a volume 2, volume 3, and so on. Really pleased with what DC are doing at the moment. I mean, they're on fire at the moment. You've got your DC compact comics, which I love. I'm going to get the Harley one. And then you've got these for an extra $20. You get in a nice big format with loads and loads of pages. You're having a blast. So, yeah, just wanted to show you this. So the cover's like that. Back cover's like that. So it's got the spine, what lines up perfectly with the other DC Comics, DC Finest, as you can see here. Yeah, so I've got 8 now, and I'm sure I'll get more. But yeah, very made up with this. I'm actually trimming down on my comics what I get from week to week because I want to get more stuff like this. This is giving much more enjoyment than just getting a weekly comic each time. I am obviously still going to be getting some, but I think I've stocked about 10 titles so far. just stop Marvel completely because we'll get them in collected. But that's by the by. But yeah, highly recommend this. Highly recommend all the DC Finest. You'll find there's something for everybody there. If you're not a fan of the Silver Age, fine. Just move on to something like from the 80s, like Green Arrow, or something from the 70s, like the DC Team Ups, whatever. There's loads to choose from. And it looks like they're not stopping. It seems to be bringing out 1 or 2 a month. The next one I will be getting will be the Spectre one. So that'll be when I get paid next time in October. And I'll do a look at that. Okay, so DC Horror gets a thumbs up from me. And if you do buy it, I think you'll be really pleased that you've invested in it. Okay, bye.